Shall we wait 5 more minutes? Then others can join. Yeah. Meanwhile, you guys have any doubts? You can ask. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything is okay.
yesterday you will go to cover, right?
I think yesterday you only asked the email thing, right?
Email, yeah, email config.
I already configured that. I will show you 1 second. I am sharing my screen. And 1 second. That email. Where it is? Yeah. So I configured my Gmail account, and I will show you what are the settings for my SMTP.
Yes.
So this is I am taking a SMTPC connection, and this is my host, smtp.gmail.com. Then port number, these two are the default ones. And after that one, I am giving my user ID. From which user ID you want to send the mail, that is the one. And maybe you configured your Gmail account, it is giving the app password. Maybe in your case, you are using your organization email, then they will give the password. So we need to configure those things here. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And one more thing is when we're using the SMTPS, so we need to select this trust store as insecure. In your case, maybe they're providing any keys, and they will mean any PPK file, PKS file. Here we need to mention those keys.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Otherwise, we can simply get as insecure. That's the one. Then click on OK. Then comes here. I'm drag and drop SMTP send one. And remaining everything you can see. This is my from which address I want to send it. This is my from address, and this is my two addresses. So here the two addresses, and after that one you can see here the subject. What is the subject you want to send it? Here the subject and the content. For example, you want to send some text data, and here the body of the one body of the email. This is the body of the mail. Okay.
Yes.
And if there is any attachments there, here we need to add that attachment name. Whatever the file, maybe you are created one output of a file, and then you want to send them as attachment, then here we need to add that file name here. Okay, that's it. When we hit this one, it is automatically send your request to that particular user. Yeah, I already tested, then it is working.
So I have to test it through HTTP, right?
Yes, normal one. You can see, you can hit it. When we hit this one, automatically your email is sent to that person. For example, I am running this program. Once let me execute this one, then you can understand. Just wait it. Okay, I'm running my program. So let's run it. You can see there are no emails out there as of now. Let's test it. So what is the content I am sending? You can see subject is test from Mule app, and content sample I am sending simple text data I am sending. Okay, let's check it whether it is getting or not. Endpoint is the sent email. I remember. Okay, sent email. Control C. Okay, we can send email. I'm sent. Just wait for it. It is taking time. Yeah. So it is 200 success. Then go on check it inside of this is my Gmail, and just wait for 2 minutes. What is the two address I'm giving? Let me check it. I think my two address is different.
Yes.
There's a different one. Yeah. My two address is the another one, and let me open that mail also. Okay, see, this is the mail I'm sending from Mail app.
Yes, test will have.
So this is the way we can able to send it. For example, maybe in some what other cases you can see. So here I manually add the email address, right?
Yes.
So for example, here a list of email addresses coming as a CSV file. I want to send the same content to all the one. Then how we can do that one? So here instead of adding the manually, here we need to generate that the email IDs dynamically, right? Then how
Out of
we
that
can do it?
CSV file.
Yeah, how we can do it? So here you can see it is also FX notation, right?
Yes.
That let me see, for example, what I'm done is I'm sending my emails as my body section. I'm sending and what the thing maybe I can send as a body inside of it one. I'm sending as a JSON and I can an array of names I'm sending emails. It is in the form of an array. I'm sending. Can you tell one your email or something? Can you ping? I add it two or three.
It's max ABD 17 Gmail.
Max
ABD
ABD
17 @Gmail.
17 @gmail. Any other guys to repeat the same thing, right? Yeah, can you?
Mine is raji.kakani@gmail.com.
Raji.kakani.
At
Hopefully it is
gmail.
correct. Okay. Now you can see. Let us assume my emails are coming like this one. What is my requirement? Whatever the emails are there, I want to send the same body to these emails. That is my requirement. Now you can see how we can do it. So you could clearly indicates that is coming from your payload, right?
Yes.
So here you need to repeat the same thing, right? So you want to repeat the sending main whatever the emails address I want repeated for the each and every name. So I'm using the for each. Here you can observe what is the collection name here. I want to send it. Anyone? I want to send the payload or payload dot addresses.
Payload.addresses.
Nothing. Emails,
Payload.emails.
emails, I think. Payload dot emails. It is an array, then it is iterating one by one. And whatever the email is there, each iteration it is available inside of here, right? Then here you can see I'm deleting it, I'm adding it instead of manually adding whatever the email address is coming, I'm putting inside of that one. Okay. So why I'm putting the payload inside of the for each what happens every time
Every time only
wait,
one.
then you can see it is automatically picking one by one and let's hit it. Okay, and that is a simple thing. That's the one. I'm saving the program. Let's rerun it.
There is a extra bracket is there in post one
Which one? Which one? Where?
in body post one. Yeah,
I
above.
think we are not at send it, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Let's hit it. Let's wait for it.
yeah, I got that mail.
Yeah, you can see what about Raja? You also got it? Yes. So you can say now you can see now you can the same thing you can visualize is maybe you are reading the data as CSV and you know whatever the email thing is there I want to put them as asynchronous mode. Then how we can do it? So because I don't you can see it is taking the 10 to 10 5 to 10 seconds, right? Maybe to send the email. Maybe let us
Yes.
assume there are 100 emails are there. If everyone I want to take it. So that meantime I want to wait it. So I don't want to wait that meantimes, right? Then what we do?
Yes.
We can simply put async scope and I'm adding the async scope here. Whatever the for each is there, I'm putting inside of that one. Then what happens? Whatever the for each is there, automatically it is executing and the remaining process is continue executing. So is there any parallel jobs are there? There we can use async scope. But
Okay.
remember, async scope is you need to be more conscious because is there something happens inside of async scope failures occur that failures are not catched by your main flow
Correct.
because these are the independent one, right? So
Yeah.
whenever you are using the async scopes, you need to be more conscious. So you use unless you definitely you need to run the job parallelly, then only you can go for the async scope. Otherwise, identifying the errors and handling the errors in the async scope it is little bit difficult. Okay. So
Yeah.
the simple use case, this is the way we can able to do it. Got the guys? So this is the simple use case.
Yes.
Okay. So I think this is the one, right? Is there anything we have balanced, right? And now we can move to the what is the one? M unit.
Object,
Oh, sorry.
object store.
1 second. Object store. Okay, no problem. So anyone knows what is an object store? At least object store is
No.
nothing but a simple temporary storage place. We can whenever we talk about, and I will share you example object.
Object store.
Okay, let us say place. So after this one, you can see what is the usage of object storage. For example, first let me see what is an object store, and you can see object store contains different data. You can see inside of the object store, we can able to store some temporary data. Okay, so now you can see, for example, I am pushing the object store. Store means inside of the object store. That means inside of your entire wherever your app is running. So it is automatically creating some temporary storage area. So inside of the temporary storage area, whenever we want to store some data, so then we can use the operation called store. Maybe you can ask us what is the need of usage of this temporary storage area means you can see. For example, when hitting your any API, so we need to pass some tokens, right?
Yes.
So bearer tokens you want. So for the each bearer token, they have some time limits, right? So within 1 hour or within half an hour, the token got expired. Then what you need to do again? We need to hit your API, and we can get the new token, right?
Yes.
That whenever we're collecting the token, we need to place inside of some temporary area. So every time I don't want to hit my token provider, get the token and I'm call it. So whatever the token I'm taking from my providers, that the time limit is maybe 1 hour. So within 1 hour, I can place that token inside of my temporary area, and every time whenever I need it in this 1 hour, I'm picking the token from my object store. Now got the usage?
For temporary holding data.
That's the one. Object store is nothing but the temporary holding the data, temporary storage medium. That is the one. Okay. Now you can
How
see
it is
here
different from set variable?
set variable. Set variable is nothing but the maybe we can call it the set variable is nothing. Set variable, there is no expiration is there, na?
Okay, it only hold that
It is once you
variable
create
content.
the variable until the life whenever your flow is executed, the lifetime of the variable is same, right? Permanently. But
Okay.
whatever the storage you are storing inside of this one, what happens after 1 hour, the automatically it is got expired. Again, we need to push that variable inside of the object store.
Okay, so there is
Now
a
you can
setting
see,
for
yeah.
time.
I will here what you can configure the object store, then you can understand. And here you can see there is no object store is there so far. I'm creating one object store. Now you can see understand. So inside of the object store at a time, I can mean maximum 20 entries I want to store it. Then you can see here is the settings you want to remember. What is this one?
Entry TTL.
Entry TTL means time out, time turn limited. That means what is the maximum time to allow that value inside of the object store. Okay, maybe in your case, maybe within 1 hour, what is the maximum time duration for the token expiration? 1 hour. Then you can set this one as a 59 minutes. Then automatically within 59 minutes, your object store is discard. There is no values inside
Yeah,
of the object store. Again, we need to get the new token and we can push inside of this object store. Got it?
got
So
it.
it is not this facility is not available inside of variable, right? We can simply store the variable whenever we want it. We will override it everything, but there is no expiration is there. Okay. And
Okay.
moreover, inside of the variable, once you create the variable, it is not possible to add the data. Again, we need to append the data, right? But here, so
Yes.
it is in the form of key and value pairs. Whatever the values we are storing inside of the object store, we can directly can access that keys. Okay. So that is the one. Here, this is the most important one for the object store. What is the major advantages? We can able to set our Generally, what it
TTL.
is expiration time. Okay, TTL is nothing but a time turnout limit. Okay, so by setting this TTL, what happens is, so whatever the time you are setting, after that time, automatically your whatever the values inside of the object store, everything is discard. There is no value. Again, we need to reinsert the data. Got it?
Yes.
So this is the one of the advantage. Just remember. Let us say, for example, I am giving 1 second. I am giving 2 minutes as a my object store. Okay, let's check this one. Okay,
1 minute
expiration
will
time.
be okay.
Sorry,
1 minute will be okay. 2 minutes will be lengthy.
no. When we hitting, no. Let's try it. Now you can see what is the key name. You can see for the just now we are created, right? So you were just created object store. So
Hmm.
inside of the object store, you need to push some values, right? So always in the form of key and value pair. So this is my test data I'm giving. What is my key name?
Test data.
Whatever the payload is coming my postman, that
Value.
entire thing is inserted inside of this one. Now you can
Value.
see here, you can see persistent. Now don't touch all these things, just remove it. And after I'm just saving it, and I'm placing one logger to test it. I'm not just storing the data values
Stored in object
in
store.
object store. Now what is your requirement? You need to retrieve it, right? So
Yeah.
where your values are available, where is your values? So inside of the object store, your values are there. You need to retrieve it. Now you can see there are two options is there: retrieve, retrieve all. Retrieve all means whatever the data is available inside of your object store, everything is you can able to retrieve it. Now you can see I'm adding that object store here. Whatever the value is coming, then I'm converting into that JSON format and I'm displaying it. Let us check it whether it is picking all the data or not. Okay, let's save this program. Let's run it. Already running now.
Yes. That email.
Okay.
Email instances are running.
What is the one name? Test name test. Okay. Go here and here I want to give it test. You can see here this is the data I'm pushing inside of my object store. Let's hit it. Now you can see. So once you push the data after end, what happens? Whatever the keys are there, everything it is we can picking, right?
Yes.
You can see this is the data inside of your object store. It is automatically picking. So, so this
After
is the way.
picking.
For example, the first time you are hitting your HTTP, your bearer token authorizer, and you get the data, and you can push this entire data inside of the object store. Whenever we require the wherever we want to pass your token, then in that situation you can simply call that retrieve function, and you can read the date the token particular token from your object store. This is the way we can able to store your important data, maybe watermarking data, maybe authorization keys. So wherever the expiration is there, so those kind of data we can able to store inside of a object store. Generally, the tokens we are storing inside of the object stores, because every times we need to we don't need to hit your token provider, right? So within 1 hour we can able to save that token inside of a object store and we can able to retrieve it. So this is the
Yes.
retrieval. For example, we want to see with retrieve only. Instead of retrieval, I'm removing it. For the retrieve, you can see now it is asking the key. So inside of the object store, there are number of elements are available, right?
Yes.
So you want retrieve only particular one. Then by using that key name, you can able to use it. What is the key name? Just previously
Test
we are
data.
putting test data, right? So by using this key name, we can able to retrieve it. And what is the object store? You can
Object
see
store.
I'm store it and save it and run it.
So by the time it got expired, right? 2 minutes.
I think we are rerun it now. When we
Uh-huh.
kept this one, then let's try this one.
Okay.
When it rerun, it means again it is refreshed, right?
Button got inserted, yeah, for new session.
Yeah. 1 second. What is the one? Is the data is coming? I don't think so. 1 second. Oh, here we need to default value, no default value.
Storing payload.
Is it coming? We will debug it. Just retrieve it. Object store, test data, my key name, and inside of the key name, the payload. Let's try this one. Okay, let's hit it. Come here. The payload is whatever the emails are coming.
Yes.
Then we can move to this one. Then
Start.
there is nothing.
Yeah,
Then
yes.
your data is available inside of the payload. Then retrieve. Then you can see it is picking that information. Got it?
Yes.
So that particular key only we are getting. Okay. This the way we are getting the data. Let's wait for the 2 seconds. Then what
Mm.
happens is when the 2 seconds, it is again performing this one now store. Again it is pushing, right?
Mm.
What we need to do, we can 1 second, maybe to simulate that one, I can create a scheduler. Okay, got it. So maybe I don't know, right? When we hitting the same thing, what happened again? The entire flow is hitting now. Again, whatever the payload is, then again it is pushing the same key, right?
Yes, it always
Yeah,
displays.
yeah. So for this one, what we do, I can simulate this one every 1 minute. I want to pick the data from the object store. Maybe that is more
Yeah.
convenient.
Retrieve.
Okay.
We can place retrieve inside scheduler, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
We can place retrieve inside scheduler.
Yeah, yeah. You can say whatever that there, I'm putting here only.
Yes.
We can save it, and we need to
No setting for
save
scheduler,
1 minute.
sir.
Sorry. Setting away alert set now. One minute is the time limit.
No, in for scheduler.
Yeah, that one I will show you. By default, it is set to 1 minute.
Okay.
I will show you. Okay. I will save the program. You can see by default, it is with a 1000 microseconds, means 1 second, right? Sorry. I
Mm.
think 1 second. Here I'm putting one more thing. Otherwise,
Time unit can change to
um,
minutes, 1 minute.
1 minute. Again, we need to resave it. Let's try it. Okay, you can see it is already triggered. That's why it every 1 second it is picking. Oh, it is. You can see
Redeployed.
it is already. I mean, what is the one? 1 second. We can stop it and we can run the program. Then it is in the debug mode. It is problem, right? First, we are going to see I'm not hitting my flow, not it. Then see what is the data inside of an object store. You can see it is throwing an error. Why it is throwing an error? Initially, there is no key is there, right?
Yeah,
But
we
we
haven't.
try to retrieve it, right? Then you can see the first time I'm hitting. So definitely this time that key is available. Now you can see. Now it is picking that key values in the object store and retrieve. Is it printed? No. Values in the object store and scheduler. 1 second, guys. Oh, just wait for
Nawalan.
1 minute. Is it triggered? No, right? 1 second. Every 1 minute it should be triggered. Error is came na, that's why it is not triggering. I'm rerun it. First, I'm storing my key value, then to avoid it. Okay. Okay. So here you can see this is the situation we can able to solve it. You can see now my key is available inside of that one. That's why it
Yes.
is picking, right? Let's wait for it. The every 1 minute it is picking. Just wait. So they're asking about whenever talk about object store, every time they ask the question about the TTL. So what is the TTL?
Timeout.
So what is the usage of the TTL? So it's an expiration value for that particular key inside of the object store. Okay. And
Yeah.
I'm hitting now this time I'm changing my data. I'm send it. Okay. Now you can see every now you can see it is the first one and is it deployed? Now that new one is coming, right? You can see
Yeah.
after hitting the scheduler, the new value is coming, and but we need to wait it 2 minutes. Then it is everything is gone. I think. What is the time we are giving? 1 minute.
1 minute it will pull
Uh,
out again.
yeah, waiting 1 minute is somewhat different. So every 1 minute is gone trigger, but you can see here there is a setting they will give you. So once there is no key value is available, then we can able to queue the default value here. Okay, for example, that particular key is not available, there is no value is there. So instead of throwing an error, so previously you can observe it, it is throws an error, right? So instead of throwing an error here, maybe you can give 0 or something, you can give value like that one. Okay, so that facility is already available. You can see now the after 1 minute might it is triggered and it is picking. Got it? Let's wait for the 1 more minute, then let's what
Now
happens, it is trigger
it
or it
will,
is throws an error.
now it will throw error, right? Because it is
No,
lifetime
because
is 2 minutes.
now definitely there is no keys available. After 1 minute, it should be expired. Actually, we can set the 20 second, and it is very easy. Meanwhile, we can see the what are the remaining object store. You can see retrieve. We already seen retrieve. All already seen. Then next store. Then you can say, for example, I want to check whether particular key is available inside of your object store or not. Then we can use the function called contains. Okay. So
Is
just
it a
remember,
Boolean one?
this always written boolean only. Okay. The next one is the remove. For example, if you want to remove particular key, then we can use the remove. Now you can see it is throwing an error. Why it is throwing an error? After two
It is
minutes,
fine.
what happened? You whatever the values available inside of the object store, they're automatically deleted because you are setting the TTL as a 2 minutes. Now we try
Yes.
to access that particular key, it is not available. Now got it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the whenever the bearer token expiration tokens are there, then we can store those kind of things there, and you can set the timeout limited. So then it is whenever the timeout is done, automatically your object store is refreshed. So again, we need to push the new values. So this is the way the object store is nothing but temporary storage area. It's not a bigger one. It's temporary storage area, and then we do like this one. Okay.
Yes.
So that's all about the object store. Yeah, nothing in this there nothing is there generally. Okay. So your MuleSoft internally they are using the object store V2. Just remember. So previously someone is asking the question, what is the default size of the object store in the Cloud Hub means? So previously they are using the V1. The V1 I think they are allowing the some 2000 keys are net, but for the they are upgrading the V2 object store. For the V2 object store, there is no limit for the keys. Inside of the object store, you can store any number of keys. There is no limit is there.
Okay.
Okay. So that is the one interview question. Maybe just remember. So what is the size of object store in the Cloud Hub means they are upgrading the V2 object store. For the V2 object store, there is no limit. Okay. I also faced this interview question. That's why I'm stressing that one. Okay.
Yes.
So that's all about the object store, guys. Nothing special is there. Okay. Then we can move to the our M unit. I will discuss only basics. It's very easy. Generally, we are not going to write any manual M units because they are giving the flexibility of using M unit recorder. So by using M unit recorder, we can able to create your unit test cases very easily. Okay, I will show
So which
you.
approach we are going to see, sir? Both.
Okay, I will show you. But when we compare one is and creating the manually, it will kill so much of time. So you
Yes.
need to spend more time than what you developed the code to test to design the test. But both are same. At the end of the day, whatever the flows generated by recorder and manually both are same. Moreover, recorder gives the maximum performance. I will show you, and it's very simple. I'm already created one simple flow, not a M unit. There is no error scenario. You can see this is my simple flow. What the flow is, I'm setting some input. Okay, so that is input is 10 as a number. Then I'm placing one logger to print some message. After that one, I'm performing some operation. Whatever the payload is there, I'm pasted. Okay, after that one, I'm placing the logger. So anyhow, what is a M unit? Can anyone tell me? So before starting off M unit, first we need to understand what is the M unit. Then it is easy to guys understand what is the M unit. What is the M unit? I think most of the members are working people, right? So maybe they can. What is the M unit? Not
Unlike
not
Java,
just unit case. Unit testing. Generally, we can call it as. What is the unit
unit
testing?
in our normal Java code,
Yeah,
before
yeah,
submitting our code to the stash or something Git,
yeah.
we perform some module testing at our level with
What is
the
that one? What is the meaning? Exact meaning of unit testing?
whatever the piece of code we have developed, we test
Right.
as per our
So how we can say that this piece of the code, whatever you developed, is performs all test cases are passed or not? That is the intention of your testing, right? How we can
yeah
set that whatever the code I am written, that is executed correctly.
expected versus actual. We can,
That is the one. Just remember the guys. Maybe anyone not aware of the unit testing, it is very simple. So now let me write it. Now you
set it.
can see here, I am written one function is there. You can take any programming language, definitely there are functions are there. So this function taking two parameters, int a and int b, and it should return, maybe Java people, they can write like this one, right? So this is
Mm.
the code written by one Java guy. So you want to write that unit test case for this one. What is the meaning unit test case? Nothing but, so whatever the function you are written, so it will give the as result as you expected. Then how we can set that it is giving as expected means, so you are calling the function like this one, add 10 comma 20. What is your expected value?
30.
30, right? That means what is this 30? This 30 is your expected value. Okay, but
Mm.
after executing of add function, what it is written? So this function written like this one. So my function written 30. So this is my expected, this is the actual value written by your function. So these two are same. Then what we said that whatever the code you are written, that passes your unit case, right?
Yes.
For example, you are giving your expected as a 40, and but it is returning the 30. Then your unit test case is passed or failed.
Well,
Why? Because you are expected 40, but whatever the code you are written, that is not written the what are the value it is written, it is not equal to your expected. That means my code, there is a problem inside of the my code. Maybe we can assume, right?
yeah.
So that means that means to perform the unit test casing, the automated test case, and what we do, so we can provide input as well as expected
Output.
output. So it is stored expected output inside of a one variable, and after executing out whatever the function you are written, whatever the value is coming at the end, these both should be equal. That means we need to compare these two values. That technically we can alt as a asset. Asserting is nothing but the checking both are equal or not. Asserting whatever the actual code written, actual value written by your function, and whatever the value you are setting as expected, both are same, then your code is 100% correct. So whatever you are doing like this one, that entire thing we can call it as a unit testing. Okay, now you got it. That
Yes.
means, so before that mean whatever then, so before the mean initial days, they are everything they are doing manually. So they can give the input and output, and we're testing the manually, and they're comparing manually. But whatever the modern happenings that they're automating the coding. So automating testing comes into the picture. What is the meaning of automating testing is, so we can supply input and output, and once running the one, there are automatically checking whatever the generating output and expected output, both are same, then your test case is passes. It is not there, then it is simply showing test case is failed. So these are things are done by automating. Okay, so by using your Mule Anypoint Studio, you can able to write your automating test cases just like this one. So those we can call it as a
Yeah, unit
those you
test.
can call it as a M units. So M unit is nothing but the Mule unit test cases. These are automated test cases just like your J unit. So inside of the M unit, we can supply your input as well as output. Depending on that one, it is automatically check your code is executed correctly or not. This is M unit, guys. So introduction, what whenever someone asks what is M unit, this is the M unit. Okay, anyone doesn't know about unit testing, this is the explanation for that one. Okay, I think everybody understand, right?
Yes.
M unit is nothing but automation testing, simply. Okay, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
now we move to. So now this is my flow, right? So this is the flow. Here I want to test it. So what are the tests we can able to perform this flow? Just think about it. So what are the test cases we can, there is no function is there, everything is in the form of loggers, payload, transformation message. How, what are the tests we can able to do it in this flow? Maybe we can do like this one now. So whether this component is called or not, right?
Mm.
So we can do like that one, right? Then I can see. So how we can create the M unit test means it is very, very easy. You can simply give the right click on this flow. You can see there is a
M unit.
immunity is there, so there is a create a blank test is there. Don't go for this one because the mule 4 onwards they're providing the record one. So you simply go for this one. It is very, very easy, guys, creating the flows and everything. And moreover, just remember one point, it is not a mandatory thing to write your M unit. Okay, depending on your project, we need to create the M unit. For the all the project, for the all the scenarios, it is impossible to create M unit. Okay,
Yeah,
it's up
that's
to the project, whatever the project you are working, depending on their requirement only, we need to write the M unit. But 80% of the cases, as my knowledge, they are not using the M units. So everything is checked by the manually. Okay, because there is some that is not some complexity is available, so that's why they are not using the M unit. But it is good to know. Okay, just remember it is not a mandatory thing, the first one. Okay, so
mm.
if it is a mandatory means, then simply use the recorder. It is very easy. Okay,
Mm.
then you can see M unit, then you can simply select
Few
Record test.
fastest.
that's it. So now what happens is it is automatically start execution of your program. Okay, the first one. I think what is my endpoint? I'm missing test. Okay, start deploying the application, then what happens, it is going. So the recording is means is simply executing your entire flow, your executed flow, whatever the output generated by your flow, automatically it is captured that entire flow. That is the recorder can do. Let's see. Now my application is deployed. Now you can see it is in the waiting state because you are just deployed. No, no, you're not at hit at your API, right? Then you can simply go to your thing, and this is the one, right? I'm hitting, then come back here. Now you can see it is already recording entire input and output and everything. Now we need to configure your test. Now you can see There is a thing is there. You can simply select and on configure test. So this is my flow name, this flow name, this is the test name. Sometime it is giving the automatical, otherwise you can write it your own flow. Okay, test name. Then go on next. Now you can see this is the window where we can see all the components. You can see, so inside of my flow there are the components, right?
Yes.
So for this one you can see this is my first flow name. Okay, for this flow you can see everything is I'm capturing, the payload, attributes, everything I'm capturing. Okay, so here for this one we no need to do anything. Then we can go for the second component. Now you can see this is my set payload, right? For
Hmm.
this set payload, what are the asset condition, what are the testing you can able to perform? You can see, so there are four things: do not perform any test cases, otherwise. You can see what is this one.
Mark this processor.
So what is the marking? We will see in the later, but you can see the first I want to identify whether all the components are called or not. Okay, that testing we can call it as a,
Verify this processor.
then you can select this one. Okay, now you can see, so how many times we need to verify it? At least it should be called only once, then it is the one. Then we can select the second component, the same thing. It is a
What is
logger,
spy?
right? Sorry.
Yeah.
We
Spy
can
this.
verify this one. Spy, we will see one by one. So as of now, what is my requirement is I want to identify whether that particular component is called or not. That is a unit case. Okay, so the third one, this is transformation message. I'm just calling this one. For all the one, I'm just write the test case for to verify that processor is called or not. You can see I'm selecting all the thing. I'm selecting, then everything is completed, then simply click on next. Okay, so it is automatically creating test cases for you. Click on finish. Now where is, you can see it is automatically creating the one test case flow for you. So where this file is available means, you can see it is available inside of a src test m unit is there now here.
Hmm.
Yes.
So inside of that one your test suite is available. Okay.
Okay.
So now you can see first I'm running, then I can explain what is this part, this part, this part. Okay, first I'm running I want to run my test, right? So you just created the test suite. So
Hmm.
you want to run it. Normally you can simply give the right click and run m unit test. Let's see. Now you can see automatically it is running and everything. We no need to do it. Here we can get the report. Just
Okay.
wait for
Error
it.
failure success.
Yeah. Just wait it. Oh, it is, yeah, now it is started and everything. Now you can see it is deployed. First my application is deployed, then it is running my test cases. What we written inside of the test cases, I will explain one by one. Okay. Now you can see my test case is completed and everything. And you can see, so is there any errors are there?
No.
No.
Is there any failures are there? No, right?
No.
Now you can see this is the most important one. Here you can see m unit errors, m unit coverage. You can simply click on m unit coverage, create generate report. What is the percentage I am getting?
100%.
100%.
So 100 is nothing but you can go and see, you can see each and every component passes your test case. So the blue tick marks are there.
Yes.
So there are 5 components are there. All 5 components are passed your test cases. That's why it is showing the percentage as
100.
100. For example, any one got failed. Then what happens is first it is throwing an error, failure error, and the coverage report is changed. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So this is the way we can creating the test cases by using m unit recorder. Okay, but you can
Okay.
see the m unit test flow, it clearly indicates it is creating the 3 parts. First one is,
Behavior.
the second one is
Execution.
execution, third one is validation.
Validation.
For example, you are getting one dot, I am running this test suite, right? So which flow it is executed, how we can know it? So this is my test case site. This is my test suite. I don't know which flow I am created. I want to know whether which flow it is tested. So here you can see what is this important one. This is the flow reference, right? You can
Yes.
give the right click and go to reference to flow. Which flow it is referred?
Our main flow.
That means, so this entire whatever the test suite is there, it is triggering your this
Yeah.
flow. It is going to executed. Got it? The first point.
Yes.
Yes.
So that means to trigger this entire flow, definitely first we need to supply some input, right?
Yeah.
So where that input is available means inside of the behavioral section, we can send that input. Okay. So general, how we can use APIs, we can simply open the API and whatever the payload you are setting, send the data automatically, it is triggered, right? The
Yes.
same thing here, you are sending the payload something, that entire payload is we are setting here. In the behavioral section, we can set your payload, whatever the payload you are setting, that entire payload is send as the input to this flow. Okay,
Can
what
we
is the flow?
this?
You can see, we can able to explore it, you can see. So where it is available, I will show you one by one. It is automatically creating some files here. Inside of the file, you can able to set the payload and we can able to modify it. So that point we will see tomorrow. Today, just understand how we can creating the flows. Okay.
Okay.
So that means in the behavioral section, what you do? So we need to set the input payload and whatever the input is telling that sends as input to this flow. Okay.
Got it.
Once you enter into the payload, once you enter into the payload, you can see the first one. You can see what is the first component,
Payload.
that payload, right? So you can see that payload, whatever the function you can see inside of that one asset payload, if the payload is there or not, you can see this the component you are not placing, it is automatically created, right?
Yes.
So next one, so you need to verify that logger is executed or not. You can see the verify component is there, is replacing.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that means these are whatever you are seeing, this one, these are call it as a M unit tools. So verify logger, verify, this is the component, we can call it as a verify. So whatever the component you want to verify it, you can simply place this verify and you can pick that processor. It is automatically identify whether this component is called or not. Okay,
Okay.
that we can call it as a verify. Yes,
Okay.
got it, guys?
Yeah. Yes.
So that means you can see, so how many verifies calls you are putting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the way they creating the your M unit. Okay.
Yes.
Now you can see. So for example, I'm setting this input is there, some payload is there, everything I'm setting now. So you can closely observe it. So you can see SRC test resource are available. You can see. So whenever you are triggering any M unit cases, it is automatically creating one folder here. So inside of the folder, everything it is created here. You can see. I'm setting my payload now. You can see what is the payload name? Set event underscore payload
Pay.
dot dw. Go on, see, you can see. So set event payload dot dw. You can see. Now, whatever the data you are sending from the postman, so every time it is not picking that data. Once you hit the data, that entire data it is captured and it is maintained inside of a
Payload.
no
The
inside of
file.
a this file.
File.
Whenever you
Mm.
are rerun your M unit, what happens every time it is picking the data from this file only.
This. Okay.
Okay, so it is not tomorrow I will show you that one, that we can call it as a marking. Okay, then you can see is there any attributes are there. You can see at the initially you are hitting some attributes. Now everything it is captured, it is available inside of
Set
a
event.
file. So whenever you are running the your M unit cases 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, every time it is not waiting for your data. So it is every time it is picking the data from these files. Got it?
Yes.
So this it is everything it is available. You can see this is the expression. So it is equal to 20. What is the asset means? I will show it tomorrow. Okay, don't worry. So you inside of the payload you are checking now whether this value is something like that one. So this is the one. Okay.
Yeah.
So that means you need to remember whatever the initial you are hitting, the recorder always capture all the data and it is maintained inside of a files. So whenever we rerun your M unit test cases again and again, so it is picking the data from these files only. That is the point you need to remember it.
It always
Okay,
creates the file that's the same location.
the same
Test
thing.
result.
So you can see every time you can see this test name is there na.
Yeah.
Depending on that one, it is created. For example, I want to create one more test cases. Let's say. Okay, so I'm giving this one M unit record test this flood. Let's hit it one more time. This time I want to asset spy this process. Whatever the before transformation, it should be 10. After execution of transformation, it should be 20, right?
Yes.
I want to check that one, whether that test case is passed or failed. Okay. For that one, I'm creating one more test suite. not existing one. I'm creating one more thing. I will show you. So I'm hitting it. Go here. Okay, configure the test. So now this time I don't want to use this one. I'm giving the test -02. Okay. Now the set payload. So what is the test set payload? I want to mark or I want to verify. I want to mark this one. Then tell me the logger. I want to verify the transformation. Now you can see for the transformation, what we need to do. We need to verify or we need to check.
We want to spy this.
So what is the what checking means? Whatever the operation you are performing inside of that one, that should be, you can see whatever the previous what we do. I think you are deleted now. Okay. Why it is not coming? Okay, let's hit it. Now you can see inside of the transformation message what the logic I am written payload +10. So how we can set that the transformation is executed successfully means, so before transformation your payload should be 10. After execution of transformation your payload should be 20. Then only we can say that the transformation message is executed correctly, right?
Yes.
That process we can call it as a spying. Spying is nothing but before execution what is your input, after execution what is your output. So we are mapping it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can see I'm simply selecting on the what is the one spy. Here you can see, so before transformation what is your payload,
10.
after transformation it is executing some code, right? Payload +10, then it is returning the 20, right? So this is my expected input and this is my expected
Output.
output, right? That is the one. Now you count it. So for unit test cases you need to provide your input as well as output. Now that is the meaning of here. Then we can go logger, verify this one, verify this one.
For logger, we can't mock, right? It is de-highlighting.
That's why every time the logger we need to check whether this is executed or not. That's the one. Now we can see. Now we can see it is creating the one more test suite. This is the test suite it is created. You can see this is my test name. And you can see here the behavioral section, everything is changed. So as usually first you set the input. After the setting the input, you can see whenever you are calling the transformation message, what happened, you can see asset payload. So before you can see before call, after call for which component?
Spy transform.
No. Transformation message, right? So
Yes.
before transformation, I will show you. 1 second. You can see, so for the where it is, yeah. So asset payload before transformation, where it is picking the data. So where it should be picking some data, right? Somewhere, someplace, right? You can see where it is available. You can see now it is creating one folder with the same test name. Then you can see here you can able to see, you can see spy asset payload, spy asset payload 1. So it should be written. You can see 1 second. I will show you. Here there is a component we can able to show it.
Asset payload.
Where it is.
Import test.
Okay. You can see spy asset payload from this one. It is picking. No. Okay. It is picking the data. Let's open this one. You can see. It is picking the value as a 10. Then you can payload 1. You can see it is 20, right?
Yeah.
That means everything it is picking the values from these two files. Okay. First I am running this one. Then I'm changing the values inside of these files. Let's run it. Definitely this got failed. I want to run this one. I'm running off this project. For success scenario this one, then I'm changing the values inside of the asset payloads. Let's see it. Now everything is running and my test cases are successfully executed. Then go here and inside of this one, let's change the value. You can see where it is asset payload, right? Here I'm setting the value as a 30. Is it correct one? After executing the transformation, your payload is 20. But what is my expected one here?
30.
30.
30. That means it will, the test case got failed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's run that one. 1 second.
Test 2.
Ignore test. Then I want to run. Okay.
Test.
I'm just running the second test case only. Just wait for it. Now you can see
Fail.
it is failed. Why? Why it is failed? And there is a logging is also available. I will show you. Otherwise, we can go and generate report. You can see what is the percentage it is getting now.
60.
60 and
Percentage.
one component is got failed, right? You can see 1, 2, 3. These three are executed at this level. Your test got failed. That's why remaining is not executed. Got it?
Yeah.
So
How we
this
can
the
see the
way.
result?
Yeah. Tell me.
How we can see the reason?
Reason. I think in the logs only we can able to see it. I will show you.
That expected and actual is not matched.
I think it's showing some messages. I will show. I will explore this one.
Above.
Um,
There are some come in red.
no. It will show the message everything. You can see. Okay, you can see this the one. Payload doesn't match, right? You can see. Whatever after running of this one, it is throwing an error, right? You can see. Expected 30 to be
30.
equal, but actual what is the coming?
20.
20. You can see everything it is logged. Okay. So this is the way we can able to write your M-unit test cases by using M-unit recorder. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is the spying, and tomorrow I will show you. So where we can use this marking, right? So far we are not using any marking. So you can, but it is, it is getting the data, but there is a database operations are there. Every time we need to hit your database server, right?
Yeah.
So when we're doing the test cases, every time hitting your databases, it is not a good practice. So what we
Yes.
need to do, once you hit the database, whatever the output generated by that call, where everything is everything we can capture and we can save inside of this payload, and we can pointing whenever we are running your programs, instead of hitting your database, we are hitting this file. That we can call it as a marking of data. So that we will cover tomorrow. And moreover, you just remember, while we running or while we configuring the M-unit test cases with M-unit recorder, so your flow should be success. That means, is there any errors while we executing this entire flow, your M-unit recorder will not capture your execution. It is not going to create
Yeah.
any test
Yes.
cases. That is the point you need to remember. But most of the one, whenever your flow is successfully executed, then only we can go for the unit test cases, right? But you
Yeah.
just remember. Okay.
Yeah.
So that scenario, how we can mark the data and everything, we will see tomorrow. Okay. And whenever someone is asking how we can manually change the asset payloads and everything, I will show you tomorrow. For example, here I want to add one more thing, transformation. Here immune tools are there, right? Asset expression, asset equals. But what is my suggestion is, whenever someone write a unit, just blindly go for the recorder. So because in 80% of the code it is generating, right? So you
Yeah.
need to configure it. So doing the manually the same thing, it will take 1 hour time, because it seems to be easy, but you can see the syntaxes and everything are different.
Yeah.
So but that is the problem. We don't know, right? Because developing is very easy. Configuring the M unit test cases is somewhat difficult here. That's why most of the programmers are they're using the minute recorder, not manually. They are not created any flows manually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the point. Remember. Okay. So tomorrow we are seeing the marking the thing and everything. Most probably tomorrow we will close the sessions. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. Okay, guys. Is there any questions, guys?